My beloved child, listen closely, because from the very first second, something in your life is shifting in a way you were never prepared for. There is a person, someone you think you understand, who has been carrying a desire so intense, so quietly overwhelming, that even they cannot say it out loud. This desire isn't loud, reckless, or exposed. No, it's the kind that hides beneath steady breaths, behind forced smiles, inside every moment they had to pretend they don't feel what they feel. The world sees them as calm, controlled, collected. But privately, when no one is watching, their heart burns like a sealed letter waiting to be opened only by you. And today, that truth refuses to stay hidden anymore. Let me take you deeper, because the story doesn't start where you think it does. It began long before you noticed their gaze lingering on you a second too long, long before the universe started pushing signs toward you, long before fate began to whisper your name in their direction. They tried resisting it. They tried drowning it. They tried convincing themselves that what they feel isn't real. But every time you appeared, even in their memory, it was as if the universe rewrote their pulse. They desire something from you that can't be performed on a stage, displayed to the world, or shared with anyone else. It's a desire made of truth, not fantasy. A craving for connection, not chaos. A longing for closeness that exists only when two souls remove every mask and stand honestly facing each other, without noise, without judgment, without fear. They know only you can unlock that version of them. And they know only privacy can hold the weight of what they feel. Now pause for a moment, because this is where the story turns. There is something they have been hiding, not because they are weak, but because the depth of their desire terrifies them. They worry that if the world sees it, it will shatter. They fear that if they speak it, it will ruin everything. They've rehearsed confessions in their mind, rewritten messages they never sent, imagined moments that stayed frozen in the space between courage and silence. Even the way they look at you in their quietest thoughts is different, gentler, yet heavier, almost reverent, like they're holding something sacred. And the truth they can't escape anymore is this: the connection they want with you is not meant for crowds, not meant for public eyes, not meant for social approval. It's meant for closed doors, soft voices, real vulnerability, where your presence becomes the only world they trust. But here's the revelation you never saw coming, the one the universe has been waiting to drag out of the shadows. The reason their desire feels so intense is because it didn't come from impulse. It came from recognition. They didn't just notice you, they remembered you. Something in their soul recognized something in yours, like a promise made long before this lifetime. That's why every time they tried to walk away, something pulled them back. That's why even in silence, you occupy the corners of their mind they never gave to anyone else. And that's why what they want from you isn't surface-level affection, it's something deeper, older, almost destiny-bound. A bond that can only be nourished when the world goes quiet and the two of you step into the truth of what you both feel but never fully say. They desire not your image, not your attention, but your presence, the real you, the unfiltered you. The version of you that only shows up behind closed doors. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the twist, the turning point, the revelation that will change the way you see everything from this moment forward. This person who appears composed on the outside is breaking inside on the inside. They can't keep this desire hidden much longer. The universe is cornering them. Their emotions are rising like a locked door about to burst open. In their private world, they have already chosen you. In their silent prayers, they have already called your name. In their dreams, they have already stood beside you. And in their heart, they have already surrendered to what they feel. They're no longer afraid of the desire, they're afraid of losing the one person who awakens it. And that is why they're coming toward you, step by trembling step, pushed by something stronger than fear, stronger than hesitation, stronger than silence. Because the truth is simple yet unstoppable. They desire you in a way that only privacy can hold, only destiny can justify, and only your soul can understand. Listen closely, because from this moment on, everything I reveal will pull you deeper into the truth you were never supposed to hear this soon. Before anything else, stay with me, don't leave this moment, because what comes next will hit your heart with a force you won't be able to ignore. The desire this person holds for you has reached a point where silence is no longer enough. They've been carrying a secret that was growing heavier inside them day after day, and now it's on the edge of breaking open. Every time they thought they had control, your presence shattered that illusion. Every time they tried to bury what they felt, your memory rose like a flame. They didn't choose this connection chose them. And now, it's consuming them in ways they can't hide anymore. Let me show you the truth behind their behavior, the signs that never made sense until now. They act distant, but their heart pulls toward you like a tide they cannot stop. They avoid eye contact, yet in private, they replay every second they've ever spent near you. They pretend to be unaffected, but they feel your absence like a storm in their chest. They appear strong, but the desire they hold for you makes their hands tremble when they imagine being close to you. Truly close, in a way they've never allowed with anyone else. They crave your voice, your energy, your presence, not in the eyes of the world, not for display, but for the moments when the world disappears and only the two of you exist. That's the part they want, the part they're afraid to admit, the part they guard like a forbidden truth. Something big is forming, and you can feel it too. The air around this connection has changed. The universe is pulling strings behind the scenes, forcing crossed paths, forcing memories to resurface, forcing emotions to rise that neither of you can escape. They're feeling a pressure inside them, an urgency, like time is speeding up and something is pushing them to step forward before they lose the chance entirely. They're reaching a breaking point. They know that hiding their desire is starting to hurt them more than revealing it. And the moment they finally allow themselves to imagine being near you, alone with you, in a space where nothing interrupts, their heart becomes a wildfire they can no longer contain. This is where the revelation sharpens, and you must not look away. The connection they feel isn't accidental, it's intentional. It's written. Their soul recognizes yours like a secret language, like a memory they never understood but always felt. They desire you not because of what you show the world, but because of who you become when no one else is watching. They want the version of you that laughs quietly, breathes deeply, speaks softly, the version that only appears behind closed doors. That is the you they crave. That is the you they dream about. That is the you they see in a future they haven't dared to speak out loud. And now, finally, they will no longer fight what their heart already decided. Stay right here, because what comes next will shake you. Their silence is cracking. Their walls are falling apart. They're reaching for you, not publicly, not loudly, not dramatically, but in the deepest, most private way a person can reach for another soul. They want you in the moments the world can't see, the moments where truth replaces fear, where closeness replaces distance, where destiny replaces doubt. They desire you in a way that can only be fulfilled when everything else fades, when it's just you and them, when the world outside loses its meaning. And now, fate is pushing them toward you with a force that cannot be stopped. Now hear this, because what I'm about to reveal will take you deeper into their hidden world than they ever wanted anyone to go. Their desire for you isn't something born yesterday. It has been growing in secret, like a storm waiting for the right moment to break. They've been living with a fire inside them that they refuse to show, because the intensity of it scares even them. Every time they imagine a future where you stand beside them, the world around them feels too small to hold the depth of what they feel. And the truth they hide is simple yet overwhelming. They don't just want you in their life. They need you in a place where their soul can rest without pretending. A place where only you exist. Let me take you closer, right into the heartbeat they've been controlling with everything they have. They've tried to distract themselves with responsibilities, people, routines, even silence. But none of it works. None of it numbs the magnetic pull they feel toward you. They've tried to convince themselves that the connection is exaggerated, imagined, temporary. But the more they deny it, the stronger it becomes. It follows them. It lives inside them. It grows every time your name crosses their mind. And when they close their eyes at night, the truth becomes undeniable. You are the one their soul keeps choosing, even when their mind resists. They desire the emotional closeness with you that can only exist away from noise, away from eyes, away from everything that could ruin its purity. There is something they have never said aloud, not even in their quietest thoughts. The reason their desire is so powerful is because it comes with a depth they've never experienced before. It's not just longing. It's not just connection. It's understanding. When they think of you, they don't imagine chaos, they imagine calm. They imagine sitting with you in a room where nothing else matters. They imagine conversations that unravel their soul. They imagine a closeness they've never dared to give anyone else. You're not just someone they want. You're someone they feel safe wanting. That's why this desire scares them. They know it can't be casual. They know it can't be public. They know it can't be rushed. It must happen privately, where truth has space to breathe. And here comes the turning point, the moment where their emotion sharpens into something almost unstoppable. They've reached a stage where their heart can no longer hold this desire without cracking. They're tired of pretending. They're tired of acting unaffected. They're tired of holding back something that was never meant to be caged. They know that the connection between you two isn't a coincidence, it's alignment. It's timing. It's the universe preparing the ground for a truth that's bigger than both of you. And whether they admit it or not, they've already surrendered internally. They've already chosen to walk toward you. They've already accepted that what they feel is not something they can replace, ignore, or silence. And now, the truth intensifies in a way that changes everything. Their desire for you is no longer a quiet whisper. It's a pull. A call. A force. They want to be near you in the kind of silence where only hearts speak. They want to show you the parts of themselves no one else has ever earned the right to see. They want the private connection, the one built on trust, depth, and truth. They want you in moments without masks, moments without pretense, moments where the world fades and only the two of you remain. And whether you realize it or not, destiny is already arranging the moment when this desire finally steps out of hiding and becomes a reality neither of you can deny anymore. Let this sink in, because what I'm about to reveal will pull you into the deepest layer of this person's hidden truth, the layer they've been terrified to expose even to themselves. Their desire for you has crossed the point of suppression. It's no longer something they can manage with distance, distraction, or silence. It has become a force that lives in every part of them. When they wake up, it's the first thought. When they try to sleep, it's the last. And in between those hours, every small memory of you becomes a thread tugging at their chest. They've tried to keep themselves composed, tried to appear unaffected, tried to maintain some kind of emotional balance. But the more they resist, the more this desire wraps around them like gravity. And the truth is undeniable now, they want a closeness with you that the world cannot witness, cannot judge, cannot interrupt. A closeness that exists only when everything else disappears. Let me take you inside their private thoughts, the ones they never speak, the ones they bury beneath routines and responsibilities. They imagine moments with you that feel too real to dismiss, too powerful to ignore. They picture simple things, your voice in a quiet room, the softness of your presence, the way time slows when certain souls align. They don't crave chaos or attention, they crave stillness with you. They want that rare kind of closeness that is built in silence, in trust, in vulnerability. They want to open a door to a world where only the two of you exist, where they can finally put down the emotional armor they've carried for years. They've never allowed anyone into that private space of theirs, but you slipped in without knocking. And now they don't know how to exist without imagining you there. But now something bigger is happening, something even they didn't expect. Their desire for you has evolved from emotion into intention. They're no longer just feeling it, they're acting on it internally. They're noticing the signs, the synchronicities, the ways the universe keeps placing your energy near theirs. They're questioning why they think of you at the exact moment you think of them. They're realizing that you trigger a depth they've never experienced with anyone. And that realization scares them, excites them, overwhelms them. They're reaching a point where staying silent feels like a betrayal of their own soul. The more they avoid you, the stronger the pull becomes. The more they try to stay away, the more destiny pushes them forward. They're being guided, pushed, cornered by something larger than fear. And here comes the most powerful truth, the one they never wanted to acknowledge but can no longer escape. Their desire for you is rooted in understanding, not fantasy. It's emotional, not impulsive. It's spiritual, not superficial. You trigger something inside them that they've never allowed to surface, the need to be seen, understood, accepted, privately. They desire a connection with you that strips away every mask they show the world. They want the version of you no one else sees, and they want you to see the version of them no one else has ever been allowed near. They want the conversations that feel like fate. They want the silence that feels like safety. They want to share the truth they've guarded for years. And they know, deep down, that only with you does this level of closeness even feel possible. Now pay attention, because this is the moment everything becomes undeniable. This person is reaching the edge of their emotional capacity. They can't go back to pretending. They can't bury what they feel. They can't act like this desire is temporary or accidental. They're standing at the point where something inside them is pushing forward with unstoppable clarity. They know that the connection they want with you cannot exist in crowded spaces or under watchful eyes. It can only unfold in private. In moments where the world falls silent, where truth can breathe, where their heart can speak without fear. And whether you are ready or not, the universe is preparing the moment when this person finally steps out of hiding, and allows the truth of their desire to reach you with full force. Stay with me now, because what I'm about to unfold will take you into the most guarded part of this person's soul, the place they've never let anyone enter. Their desire for you has transformed into something they can no longer outrun. It sits in their chest like a truth that demands to be spoken, a pull that refuses to weaken, a feeling that intensifies every time they try to deny it. They've reached a point where hiding their emotions feels like suffocating. They know that what they want from you, what they crave from you, can't be expressed in public spaces or half-truth conversations. They want the closeness that only two people can create when the world is locked out, when time slows down, when honesty becomes the only language left. And every day, that longing becomes harder for them to silence. Let me reveal the part they protect the most, the part they pray no one ever notices. They pretend to be calm around you, but inside, their emotions shake like trapped light. They steal glances when you're not looking. They replay your words long after you've forgotten them. They imagine conversations that feel too real to dismiss, too intimate to share. They know you affect them in ways they can't explain. You unsettle their balance. You challenge their strength. You awaken their softness. And that's why they want privacy, not to hide anything wrong, but to keep safe something rare. They want a space where neither of you has to perform, pretend, or protect. A space where their truth can stand without fear. A space where your presence becomes the grounding force they've been missing for years. But something even deeper is happening, something they can barely put into words. They're realizing that their desire isn't just emotional, it's transformative. You make them feel exposed yet understood, vulnerable yet safe, terrified yet alive. These are feelings they haven't allowed themselves to feel in a very long time. They've built walls around their heart, walls made of past experiences, disappointments, betrayal, fear, but you didn't break those walls. You dissolved them simply by being you. And now, they're struggling to understand how someone could touch their soul without even trying. They fear that if they don't move toward you soon, the universe will take the chance away. Their heart is pushing them forward, begging them not to lose the one connection that finally feels right. This is where the truth becomes undeniable, the part they've been trying to hide the longest. When they imagine being close to you, it's not about intensity or thrill, it's about peace. It's about finally letting their heart breathe. It's about sharing a moment where their truth can exist without judgment. They desire the version of you that speaks softly, feels deeply, and exists honestly. And they want to bring forward the version of themselves they've never allowed anyone else to see. You are not just someone they want. You're someone they can imagine trusting with the parts of their soul they've kept buried. That trust, that emotional closeness, that private connection, that is what they crave more than anything. And now, the moment that changes everything, they're reaching a threshold. A breaking point. A shift. Their emotions have grown too powerful, too undeniable, too sacred to keep hidden. They know they can't stay silent forever. They know the universe is pulling them toward you for a reason. And they know that the connection they want with you, this quiet, honest, deeply personal closeness, can only exist when the outside world disappears. They're preparing themselves, gathering courage, letting the truth rise inside them like a tide that can't be stopped. Because sooner than you expect, this person is going to step out of their silence, and reveal the depth of their desire in a way that only two connected souls can understand. They are coming toward you. Privately, quietly, intentionally, because their heart has chosen you, and nothing in this universe can soften that choice anymore. Listen carefully now, because what I'm about to reveal is the most private layer of their heart, the part they've protected from the world, and the part they never expected you to touch so deeply. Their desire for you has become something they can feel even when they try their hardest to numb it. It has settled into their breathing, their thoughts, the rhythm of their days, the spaces between their words. They've reached a point where denying what they feel would be a lie to themselves. And the truth they're struggling to contain is this: their soul is drawn to you with a depth they've never experienced. Not publicly. Not casually. But in a quiet, intensely personal way that can only be fulfilled when the world outside completely fades. Let me take you into the moments they never admit, the moments they experience when no one else is around. They think of you while sitting alone, while moving through their routine, while pretending to be fine. They imagine the way your presence would change the energy in a private room. They imagine conversations that unfold softly, without pressure, without time, without fear. You've become the person whose name their heart whispers in its most vulnerable moments. They feel a pull toward you that makes them question everything they once believed about connection. They never wanted to let anyone close again, until you appeared. And now, their guard falls in ways they can't control, in ways they don't fully understand, in ways they can't ignore any longer. But here's the part that would shock you, the part they've been afraid to face. They tried to move on from this feeling. They tried to distract themselves with new people, new responsibilities, new routines, anything that could quiet the intensity of what they feel for you. But nothing worked. No conversation gave them the peace your silence gives them. No presence calmed their heart the way your memory does. No distraction softened the longing that rises inside them whenever they think of you. And that's when they realized the truth: what they feel for you isn't temporary, it's inevitable. It's written into their emotions. It's woven into their instinct. It's something their soul decided long before their mind could catch up. Here comes the moment where everything inside them shifts, the point where desire becomes decision. They're tired of hiding behind fear. They're tired of pretending that what they feel is manageable. They're tired of acting like their heart doesn't race when they imagine a moment alone with you, truly alone, without interruption, without hesitation. They want the version of you that the world doesn't get to see. And they want to show you the version of themselves they've kept locked away. They're ready to open that door, slowly but intentionally, because the desire inside them is no longer something they can push away. It's guiding them, shaping their choices, pulling them toward you with a force that refuses to weaken. And now, here is the truth rising in them like a wave they can't stop. They're preparing to step forward. Not loudly. Not dramatically. But deeply, quietly, and intentionally. They know the connection they crave with you needs privacy, not because it's secret, but because it's sacred. They want a moment where time slows down, where everything feels real, where every unspoken feeling can finally breathe. Their heart is ready to cross the line between silence and truth. And soon, sooner than you imagine, they will take the step they've been holding back for so long. Because their desire for you has become the kind that can only be fulfilled in one place, where it's just you, and them, and the undeniable truth that your souls have been moving toward each other all along.